Hello, my name is DeAnn Prosia, and I'm the commissioned artist for the 2024 presentation print for the Print Club of Albany. I'll be showing the journey of how this print came to be, from the acceptance of the image through the steps creating this line etching. I only use line cross-hatching to depict values, not aquatint. As you will see, I take a copper plate and I coat it with a thin layer of ground. Then I take an etching needle and I draw the image backwards through the ground down to the copper. I'll work on the darkest areas first and then work my way up to the lightest areas. So when I complete the darkest areas, I'll put it in an acid bath, and the acid will start eating away the copper, the exposed copper lines. So I'll do this 5 times to depict 5 values. Then I take it out, I clean it off, I ink it up and run it through my printing press, and I get a print, and I see how that looks. And then I will go ahead and reground the plate and work on it again. And I'll do this about 3 or 4 times before getting to the final version of the print. A print this size, which is 8 3/4 by 11, typically takes me 350 to 400 hours to complete. All right, let's see the video. Enjoy.
So here is a plate that I got from another printmaker who is no longer doing printmaking. I took it to the Center for Contemporary Printmaking and used their machine to cut it into 3 pieces. 2 I'll use later, and 1 is for the presentation print. And here's the plate after I've filed the edges and cleaned it up. I put a thin coat of ground on the plate, and then I went ahead and drew the image onto tracing paper. And this is showing you with the light box on, light box off. And this took several days to do. And here is the finished drawing. Then I take the finished drawing and I will put it onto the copper plate. I actually flip it over so that it's backwards, and then when I print it, it will come out forward. So I use transfer paper and I draw the image onto the plate, and this takes several days to do. And this is the progress. And there it's finished. This is my etching tool. It's really a potter's tool, but I've been using it for the whole 35 plus years I've been printmaking. Here are some of my cross-hatching lines. I find that when lines are too close, I can, or if they're overlapping an area they shouldn't be, I can take a Sharpie marker, which has lacquer in it, and use it kind of as a quote-unquote eraser. It's also good for foul biting. At this point, I didn't know if I was going to put in a sky or not, so I wanted to go ahead and coat the whole sky with Sharpie. And then I'm going to put the image, the plate, into the acid bath to bite the bikes in the foreground. That's the darkest area. And so the plate is probably in the bath for maybe 25 minutes. And here's a close-up of the bitten lines, and you can see how the acid has eaten into the copper. This is a picture of my studio that I work every day, and while I'm doing prints, I usually watch TV or listen to music. This was the only way I could figure out what bridge I was standing on. I Googled this name and it was able to tell me the location of the print. And I worked on more of the lines, more of the image, and so this is me putting it back in the acid bath to bite it for a second time. So the bikes are getting even darker because those lines are getting deeper. And here's some of the bitten lines. I'm working on it again, much lighter areas. And I put it in the acid bath a few more times. I just didn't show that here. So now I'll clean off the plate. I'm not left-handed, but I had to hold the camera, so. And there's the cleaned plate. And as you can see, these are the bikes, and I haven't added the water behind it yet. So this is some of the imagery, some of the little hints that I put in each of my plate. I went to New Zealand and Australia for a show last year. And there's some few other things in there if you want to take a look at it closely. So now I've printed for the first time to see what I have. You can see there's no sky, no water or anything. So I go ahead and put more ground on the plate, and then I make notes of what I want to do. And you can see the 1 and 4, I think there's an 8 in there, and that's the amount of time I want to put the plate back in the acid bath. So now I've put some guidelines down, and I decided to go ahead and put the sky in. This is just the buildup of line. And once the plate is finished, or I go ahead and file down the edges and burnish them so there's a really nice clean burnished edge around the whole plate. And then I go ahead and I ink up the plate one last time, and this print I will take to the master printer to show them how I want the print printed every time. So there it is inked and on my press bed, and I am running it through the press, and here's the finished print. And I go ahead and I have the paper. I'm sorry, it's Albany Print Club. It's really Print Club of Albany. And I cut it all up to size and wrap it up and take it into New York to Kathy Carraccio's print studio where she worked on it. I worked with her for a couple days to make sure that I got the print that I wanted. And she was really, really great. Here she is pulling the BAT. So when she pulls it, and I agree that that's what I want. The BAT is a Bona Terre print. It means good to pull. And after she pulls the 100 prints, I sign them and wrap them up and send them off to the Print Club of Albany. Thank you very much.